America has entered a new chapter. At the end of 2024, Donald Trump was re-elected. The slogan returned, the rallies grew louder, and the promise was repeated: make America great again. But tonight, I must tell you the truth. America will not be great because of Trump. And if you listen closely, you will understand why. Let me begin with a question. What does greatness really mean? Is it flags waving in the wind? Is it crowds chanting in stadiums? Is it a man shouting promises from a podium? No. Greatness is when families can afford food without fear. Greatness is when children can dream without hunger. Greatness is when workers can live with dignity, not paycheck to paycheck. And here's the truth. Under Trump, America is failing at all of these. Let's talk numbers, because numbers don't lie. In 2025, the average rent in America is $150 per month. That's the highest it has ever been. Families are spending more than 30% of their income just to keep a roof over their heads. Power bills. They've gone up by 22% since 2022. Millions of households are cutting back on heating or cooling because they simply can't afford it. Food insecurity. Over 45 million Americans reported struggling to put food on the table in 2024. That's not greatness, that's survival. Now ask yourself, how can a nation be great when its people are struggling to survive? Trump promised jobs, he promised prosperity, he promised to bring back factories. But here's the reality. Manufacturing jobs? They've declined by over 180,000 since 2020. Wages? Adjusted for inflation, they've barely moved. In fact, many workers are earning less in real terms than they did a decade ago. Debt. The national debt has exploded past $34 trillion. That's more than $100,000 per person in America. Does that sound like greatness? Or does it sound like a nation drowning? But here's the part that should scare you. Trump doesn't want you to see these numbers. He doesn't want you to see the rent hikes, the power bills, the empty fridges. He wants you to see the rallies. He wants you to hear the chants. He wants you to believe the illusion, because illusions are powerful. They distract, they entertain, they make you feel like something is happening, even when nothing is changing. Trump's America is built on illusion, and illusions cannot feed families. Illusions cannot pay rent. Illusions cannot make a nation great. Let me tell you a story. A single mother in Ohio works 2 jobs. She earns about $36,000 a year. Her rent is $250. Her power bill is $220. Groceries for her kids cost $650. Add it up, and she's already drowning. She skips meals so her children can eat. She delays paying bills so she can buy medicine. And yet, when she turns on the TV, she hears Trump say, "We are winning. America is great again." Tell me, is she winning? Is she living in greatness? Or is she surviving in a system that has failed her? This is the fear I want you to feel. Because her story is not rare. It is millions of stories, millions of families living paycheck to paycheck, millions of children growing up in hunger, millions of workers trapped in jobs that don't pay enough to live. And Trump says, this is greatness. But America will not be great because of Trump. America will not be great when slogans replace solutions. America will not be great when division replaces unity. America will not be great when corruption replaces democracy. Let's talk about division. Because Trump thrives on it. He tells one group they are the real Americans. He tells another group they are enemies. He pits neighbor against neighbor, friend against friend, family against family. And here's the data. Hate crimes in America rose by 12% in 2024. Political violence is at its highest level in decades. Surveys show that 72% of Americans believe the country is more divided now than ever before. Division is not greatness. Division is weakness. Division is the tool of those who fear accountability, and Trump uses it well. He uses it to distract from the economy. He uses it to distract from corruption. He uses it to distract from failure. Because if you're busy fighting your neighbor, you're not looking at your rent bill. If you're busy hating someone else, you're not asking why your power bill is so high. If you're busy chanting at a rally, you're not asking why your wages haven't gone up. This is the illusion. This is the manipulation. This is the danger. America will not be great because of Trump. Because greatness cannot be built on lies. Greatness cannot be built on division. Greatness cannot be built on illusion. Now let's talk about corruption, because Trump promised to drain the swamp. But what happened? The swamp grew deeper. Lobbyists. They flourished. Corporate influence in government has never been stronger. Tax cuts. They went to the wealthy. The top 1% saved billions, while ordinary families saw little change. Transparency? It vanished. Deals were struck in back rooms. Promises were made to insiders, and accountability disappeared. This is not draining the swamp. This is feeding it. This is expanding it. This is making it more dangerous than ever. And here's the truth. Corruption kills democracy. Corruption kills trust. Corruption kills hope. And when hope dies, greatness dies with it. So let me ask you again, how can America be great when families are drowning in bills, when division is tearing us apart, when corruption is eating democracy alive? It cannot. It will not. Not under Trump. But here's the suspense. Here's the fear. Here's the hook. Trump doesn't want you to know this. He doesn't want you to see the numbers. He doesn't want you to hear the stories. He wants you to believe the illusion. He wants you to chant the slogan. He wants you to think greatness is already here. Because if you believe the illusion, you stop asking questions. If you believe the illusion, you stop demanding change. If you believe the illusion, you stop fighting for truth. And that is how America dies. Not with a bang, but with a slogan. Not with a collapse, but with a cheer. Not with a failure, but with an illusion. America will not be great because of Trump. America will not be great when truth is sacrificed for spectacle. America will not be great when democracy is sacrificed for division. America will not be great when families are sacrificed for corruption. This is the warning. This is the truth. This is the fear you must feel, because if we do not confront it, if we do not expose it, if we do not resist it, then America will not just fail to be great. America will fail to survive. America stands at a crossroads. With Trump back in power after the 2024 election, the world is watching. And what they see is not greatness. What they see is a nation weakened, divided, and drifting further from the values that once made it strong. Let's talk about America's place in the world. Trump promised to put America first. But what happened? America became isolated. In 2025, surveys show that confidence in U.S. leadership among allies dropped below 40%. Nations that once trusted America now question its reliability. Trade agreements, many collapsed or stalled. The U.S. lost influence in Asia and Europe, while China expanded its reach. Military alliances, NATO partners reported record-low trust in American commitments. This is not strength. This is weakness. And weakness on the global stage means danger at home. Because when America loses credibility, adversaries grow bold. Russia pushes harder. China expands faster. Dictators laugh louder. And ordinary Americans pay the price in insecurity, instability, and fear. Trump's America is not respected. It is ridiculed. and ridicule is not greatness. Now let's turn inward to democracy itself. Because greatness cannot exist without freedom. Greatness cannot exist without truth. Greatness cannot exist without democracy. But under Trump, democracy is under attack. Voting rights restricted. In 2024, multiple states passed laws making it harder for poor and minority communities to vote. Trust in elections collapsed. Polls show that over 60% of Americans doubt the fairness of the system. Institutions weakened. Independent agencies were pressured, watchdogs silenced, and accountability eroded. This is not democracy. This is manipulation, and manipulation kills greatness. Because when people lose faith in democracy, they lose faith in the future. And when faith dies, hope dies. And when hope dies, a nation cannot be great. Now let's talk about the personal toll, because numbers are important, but behind every number is a human story. Take health care. Trump promised better care, lower costs. But here's the reality. In 2025, 27 million Americans remain uninsured. Prescription drug prices rose by 15% in 2 years. Families are skipping doctor visits because they cannot afford them. Imagine a father in Texas, working full-time, yet unable to afford insulin for his child. Imagine the fear, the helplessness, the anger. That is not greatness. That is survival. Take education. Trump promised opportunity. But here's the reality. Public school funding has stagnated. Teacher shortages have grown worse with over 300,000 vacancies nationwide. College tuition continues to rise, leaving students buried in debt. Imagine a teenager in Michigan, dreaming of college, but staring at a tuition bill that feels impossible. Imagine the despair of knowing that dreams are out of reach. That is not greatness. That is failure. Take safety. Trump promised law and order, but here's the reality. Gun violence reached 48,000 deaths in 2024, the highest ever recorded. Hate crimes rose by 12%, fueled by division and rhetoric. Communities live in fear, not of foreign enemies, but of violence at home. Imagine a mother in Chicago, afraid to let her children play outside. Imagine the constant worry, the sleepless nights, the grief of families torn apart. That is not greatness. That is tragedy. And yet Trump tells us, America is great again. But America will not be great because of Trump. America will not be great when families cannot afford health care. America will not be great when children cannot afford education. America will not be great when communities live in fear. Here's the suspense. Here's the fear. Here's the hook. Trump's America is not built on solutions. It is built on spectacle. It is built on slogans. It is built on illusions. He wants you to see the rallies. He wants you to hear the chants. He wants you to believe the performance. But behind the performance is failure. Behind the slogans is suffering. Behind the illusion is reality. And reality is this. America is weaker, poorer, sicker, and more divided than before. Let's talk about the economy again, because Trump loves to boast about numbers. He loves to point to the stock market. He loves to say, look, we are winning. But who is winning? The top 1% of Americans now control over 32% of the nation's wealth. The bottom 50%? They control just 2%. Corporate profits soared, while wages stagnated. This is not winning. This is inequality, and inequality kills greatness, because when half the nation struggles while a handful thrive, democracy collapses, hope collapses, unity collapses, and Trump says, this is greatness. But America will not be great because of Trump. America will not be great when wealth is hoarded by the few. America will not be great when millions live in poverty. America will not be great when children grow up hungry. Now let's talk about climate. Because greatness is not just about today. Greatness is about tomorrow. Greatness is about leaving a better world for our children. But under Trump, climate action stalled. Carbon emissions rose by 3% in 2024. Renewable energy investments slowed. Extreme weather events, hurricanes, wildfires, floods, caused over $150 billion in damages last year. Imagine families losing homes to floods. Imagine communities destroyed by fires. Imagine children breathing polluted air. That is not greatness. That is neglect. And Trump says, this is greatness. But America will not be great because of Trump. America will not be great when the planet burns. America will not be great when children choke on smoke. America will not be great when disasters destroy communities. This is the truth. This is the warning. This is the fear. Trump's America is not great. It is fragile. It is fractured. It is failing. And if we do not confront it, if we do not expose it, if we do not resist it, then America will not just fail to be great. America will fail to survive. Because greatness is not a slogan. Greatness is not a rally. Greatness is not a man shouting promises. Greatness is families fed. Greatness is children educated. Greatness is workers respected. Greatness is democracy defended. And Trump has given us none of these. So let us be clear. America will not be great because of Trump. America will be great when we reject the illusion, when we confront the corruption, when we reclaim democracy. America will be great when we choose truth over lies, courage over fear, unity over division. That is the path to greatness. And it is a path Trump cannot lead us down. The time has come to end the illusion. The time has come to expose the failure. The time has come to declare, with clarity and courage, America will not be great because of Trump. But America can be great. If we, the people, demand it. America has seen Trump return to power in 2024. The slogan is back. The rallies are louder. The promises are bigger. But the truth is darker, and tonight, I will tell you why America will not be great because of Trump. Not now, not ever. We must begin with collapse. Because collapse is not sudden. Collapse is slow. Collapse is silent. Collapse is the moment when families cannot pay rent, when children go hungry, when workers lose hope. Collapse is when a nation looks strong on the outside, but is crumbling on the inside. And under Trump, collapse is already here. Look at the economy. Trump says it is booming. But here are the facts. Household debt in 2025 has reached $17 trillion, the highest in history. Credit card debt alone is over $1.3 trillion, with average interest rates above 20%. Families are drowning in bills. Inflation may have slowed, but prices remain high. Groceries cost 25% more than they did 5 years ago. This is not prosperity. This is collapse. Look at housing. Trump says families are thriving. But here are the facts. The average home price in America is now $420,000. Mortgage rates hover around 7%, making ownership impossible for millions. Rent consumes more than 30% of income for half of all renters. This is not greatness. This is collapse. Look at healthcare. Trump says he fixed it. But here are the facts. 27 million Americans remain uninsured. Medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy, with over 100 million people struggling to pay medical bills. Life expectancy in the U.S. has fallen to 76 years, lower than most developed nations. This is not strength. This is collapse. And yet Trump tells us America is great again. But America will not be great because of Trump. America will not be great when collapse is hidden behind slogans. America will not be great when failure is disguised as success. America will not be great when survival is sold as prosperity. Now let's talk about systemic injustice. Because collapse is not just economic, collapse is social. Collapse is when systems fail the people they are meant to serve. Take education. Public schools are underfunded. Teacher shortages exceed 300,000 nationwide. Class sizes are growing, resources are shrinking, and students are falling behind. College tuition continues to rise, leaving graduates with an average debt of $37,000. This is not opportunity. This is injustice. Take justice itself. In 2024, the U.S. prison population remained above 2 million, the highest in the world. Black Americans are incarcerated at 5 times the rate of white Americans. Police violence continues, with over 1,200 deaths recorded last year. This is not fairness. This is injustice. Take democracy. Voting restrictions in multiple states have reduced access for millions. Gerrymandering has distorted representation. Trust in elections has collapsed, with 60% of Americans doubting fairness. This is not democracy. This is injustice. And Trump says, this is greatness. But America will not be great because of Trump. America will not be great when injustice is ignored. America will not be great when systems fail. America will not be great when democracy is weakened. Now let's talk about history. Because history is a warning. History tells us that nations do not collapse overnight. They collapse slowly through corruption, division, and illusion. Rome did not fall in a day. It fell when leaders cared more about power than people. It fell when corruption ate away at trust. It fell when division tore society apart. And America, under Trump, is walking the same path. Corruption thrives. Division deepens. Illusion distracts. This is the danger. This is the fear. This is the hook. Because if we do not confront it, if we do not resist it, if we do not expose it, then America will not just fail to be great. America will fail to survive. Trump's re-election in 2024 is not the beginning of greatness. It is the continuation of collapse. It is the deepening of injustice. It is the repetition of history. And here is the truth. America will not be great because of Trump. America will not be great when families drown in debt. America will not be great when children grow up hungry. America will not be great when democracy is weakened. America will not be great when corruption thrives. So what must we do? We must reject the illusion. We must confront the corruption. We must reclaim democracy. Because greatness is not a slogan. Greatness is not a rally. Greatness is not a man shouting promises. Greatness is families fed. Greatness is children educated. Greatness is workers respected. Greatness is democracy defended. And Trump has given us none of these. So let us be clear. America will not be great because of Trump. But America can be great if we, the people, demand it. The time has come to end the illusion. The time has come to expose the failure. The time has come to declare with clarity and courage, America will not be great because of Trump. But America can be great. America can be strong. America can be united. America can be free. If we choose truth over lies, if we choose courage over fear, if we choose unity over division, if we choose democracy over corruption, the choice is ours. The time is now. And history will remember whether we stood silent or whether we stood strong.